So what are we going to be talking about?
We're going to be talking about you and all things Devon Fox tonight. You look good, brother.
Thanks. I don't.
So
but
you're
thanks.
No, you look good. I mean, a lot of people.
And you'll tell me when we're live, right?
We're live.
I know that.
we're live.
I was waiting for you to go. Yeah, man. I'll tell you as soon as we go live. So tell me what you really think about.
Well, what I was going to say is, I was going to ask you if you had to pass gas, and if you said yes, I was going to tell you to go ahead and do it now, so that
No, I'm good.
We weren't live or anything.
Yeah. No, I'm good.
Because we all, I mean, not all of us, but some of us know that you're a ripper. And when you've ripped some in the studio back in our radio days before,
that term could mean so many things. It doesn't have to necessarily mean that.
I am so.
I guess
I'm
that might be the best of the things it could mean. I guess, right?
I'm so glad to see you and to hear you,
man.
Devon Fox, ladies and gentlemen.
What's
so
up?
many people. What's going on, man? So many people remember you and are wondering what in the hell happened to Devon Fox. You're in Michigan. You're in Michigan.
What happened to Devon Fox? Let me tell you. First thing that happened is I got old. Look at my hairline's going up, man.
Listen,
I'm old as shit. Oh, Can we swear on your show?
You can swear. You can say shit, ass, anything you want.
Well,
anything.
Shit.
Listen, the name of the show, buddy, aired out. You can say whatever the hell you want. We just want to know.
Can I crack open a beer on your show?
Please do.
I might do that.
Please do. I just had a PBR a little while ago.
Peanut butter and yeah, PBR. Okay.
No, yeah, PBR. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was out pulling up some cedar fence posts and pulled up like 50 and did it with one arm because the right arm is still kind of out of commission. So I did it all with the left arm, and when I was done, I was just spent.
So it's like
freaking out of shape.
You had surgery on your right shoulder, right? So is your left arm really jacked right now?
No, I had
your left arm.
I had surgery on the right wrist. Wrist. Yeah. Look how fucked up my hand looks from that surgery. It's never going to be right. But anyway,
it's locked in the perfect position to give somebody a good smack if they get stupid with you.
This is true. Plus, I've been working, part of my physical therapy every night is to, I sit on the couch and I do my physical therapy, which I take very seriously. And part of that is to do
finger exercises.
Yeah, finger bends like this. Because it's very
our minds are like totally in tune.
I know they are. Because this is very important. You have to be able to, in a second's notice, be able to do this, Devon.
Yes. Absolutely.
There's not a lot of time to think about it. You just need to be able to do it.
No, I totally get what you're saying.
Man, why Michigan? Where have you been? I mean, there's so many people that have been asking me over the past couple of years, do you ever hear from Devon Fox? Oh my God, I remember when he used to come down to Gusto's, and he was the best DJ that we've ever had in Central Vermont.
Yay.
You used to rock that freaking house so hard, man.
Yeah, we did. And shoot, it's been so long now I can't remember her name. The husband and wife that owned Gusto's. Like now I'm really embarrassed. I can't remember the name. They were
Josh Dickinson now.
Yeah. Oh, well, back then it was those two, and they were really great. We had a great time there. We would pack that place wall to wall.
Oh my God.
It would take you 20 minutes to go and get another drink. It would take you 28 minutes to make it to the bathroom.
I remember going in there. I remember going in there and seeing you, and when you've got your stuff in front of you and your decks and you're mixing and you're playing music, you are so unbelievably focused. This is
Yeah.
not the time to hang out and have a conversation. Honestly, I think a bomb could have hit the building and you wouldn't have even known it. You're laser focused on what you're doing, buddy.
It's funny that you say that, because the first thing I thought of was there was a night where my SUV was parked right out front and a motorcycle hit it. And man, I didn't have that thing. It took them like a month and a half to fix it. And I was in my zone DJing, so I didn't even realize it had happened. It was right on the other side of, the wall behind me. And the show kept going. So
oh my God.
Yeah, it gets pretty intense, because there's a lot more that goes into it than a lot of people think. A lot of people think that being a DJ, you just hit some buttons and how hard could it be? But there's a lot that goes into it. And we proved that at Gusto's back in the day. We were really scientific about our approach, the way we picked music, how we mixed it, harmonic mixing, and all these things. I could probably talk about that kind of stuff for an hour straight. But we put a lot of science in it, from our playlist to how we presented the music, the fine tuning of the sound that we put out there. I carried a decibel meter with me. I'd go around to different places inside and outside to always make sure it was at certain decibels. Yeah, we put a lot of work into it. And what it does is it ends up materializing as 450 people, whatever their fire code was. At a certain point, we were at fire code every week. And that's a result of putting a shitload of thought into the whole process.
And money.
Yeah. Yeah, it took a lot. And I reinvested a lot of what we made there back into it consistently. They were very good to me there. But yeah, initial investment was huge. Reinvestment was continuous.
Yeah. I have never in my life ever heard a sound system like yours.
Some proprietary stuff going on there. Like no joke. There's stuff that about that system. I still have that system. There's stuff about that system I don't even speak of, because again, a lot of thought even went into purchasing that equipment, designing the system to put out the kind of sound, not just the volume, but the different frequencies of sound that it put out. Yeah, a lot went into it. A lot more than people realize went into that.
I had years ago, I'm sure you remember, I had a huge party here at my house.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Dagnese and just a whole bunch of people.
Yeah. I was there. Yeah.
You were there. You were there. You had your sound system. And the next day, there was just a thin line of dust all over everything in my house, over all of the furniture, everything. There were little tiny chunks of insulation that were working their way through cracks against the crown molding in my ceiling that had settled down on the I think I'm still dusting.
That's that frequency of sound that is my favorite, and I call it the junk in the trunk. It's that real low end warm kick. Yeah, we rocked your house that time. I remember that.
Oh my God, that was unbelievable.
Before I forget, I remembered. I'm embarrassed I couldn't remember their names, only because it's been a while and I've been hugely busy. Gene and Gary, those are the husband and wife that used to own Gusto's, and great people. They give back to the community. Every year, I think still even they're giving back to the community even today. But yeah, those were the people that ran it when I was there.
Well,
but yeah, your house, man. I remember. Yeah, you saying there was dust everywhere. It was great.
So many folks remember you from the old radio station from Work FM, WORK, which someone made the complete asinine decision to change that and to get rid of it, to get rid of that that staple and call it Frank, which is just stupid.
Yeah,
but anyway,
the thing with those the WORK in radio, for those of you that don't there's lingo in radio, right? So those are what we call our call letters,
Yeah.
And one of the sad things that, and I'm not just crapping on people I don't like or anything. I'm just making a statement. The call
Yeah.
letters, WORK, were what you consider, I think what they're called is heritage call letters. They were around since the mid to late 60s, somewhere in there.
Yep. Yep.
And at a certain point after, I think, the last buyout, those heritage call letters that were in central Vermont since the late 60s were sold. And
Yeah.
so it's those are
Well,
gone. I think sold out of state. So
yeah.
I
Everything
was real disappointed to see that.
everything changed when NASA Broadcasting got in there and the place went bankrupt. And then Great Eastern Radio got it and screwed it up even more. You know, it's really too bad. But
Yeah.
I have such fond memories of week after day, week after week,
dude, I think
year after year.
We kind of know this because we're us, but other people might not realize that for years, you and I each did our own morning show. Like I was in a studio right here, you were in a studio right here with a picture window between us and
Glass.
a hallway to get to my door and your door. So we worked together every morning on two different radio stations in the same building.
God, for years.
Yeah, and
I was on Froggy, and you were on Work FM,
Frank FM at the time, yeah,
or Frank FM, and we had the there was just 2 panes of glass between us, so you could always see me. I had to turn around to be able to see you. But man, did we have fun. We were the only 2 people that were in that building first thing in the morning.
Yeah, like the first 3 hours we were there, it was just us. So yeah, there was a lot of pranks, a lot of fun. And then, the occasional once in a great while, and you might call the back line to the studio and be like, dude, I'm so screwed right now. I'm running late. And I'd be like, don't worry, man.
I was thinking about that. I was thinking about that this morning, where every now and then something would happen. I'd oversleep, or I think one morning my car went off the road and I was waiting to get pulled out. And I called you and it was like, I'm running late. Oh my God. And you were like,
don't worry, man. I got you. I'd go in, set up your headphones, hang them on your microphone. So all you had to do is stick them on your head. And then I'd make a tray, make you a coffee, put cream and sugar next to it, a stirrer, a napkin, stick that on your console. So you'd come running in all like, oh my God, I'm so freaking late. I'm so freaking screwed. Turn the quarter into your studio and you'd be like, headphones and coffee.
I literally would walk in, drop my headphones. Yeah. Yes, you get everything. I was thinking about that this morning. Seriously. Yeah. So Devon used to do this thing when, so I had my back to him when I was on the air, Froggy. And when he needed to get my attention, he would grab a highlighter or a pen and he would throw it as hard as he could at the glass to make some kind of bang or noise, and I would turn around and you'd be holding up a note. Exit 5, tractor trailer jackknifed, closing interstate, northbound, or whatever,
or something funny.
We were
always trying to make each other laugh when the other one was live, and as long as we're telling these stories,
air it out, buddy.
Air it out. We're gonna air it out.
Air it out. Don't hold anything.
I'm not gonna sugarcoat the story.
Don't sugarcoat shit.
It was during It was during a Make-A-Wish radiothon.
Oh,
it's you said it's aired out, right?
Oh my God. Go ahead.
So we're doing a Make-A-Wish radiothon, which is where we go on the air for long stretches live, and I think I had a guest in the studio live with me too. I think I did. And we were live, and I had really sad music playing in the background because what we were doing was trying to raise money for Make-A-Wish. And to communicate a sense of the sadness and seriousness of what we were doing, I was playing basically what we call heartstring music in the background. Really sad, slow music.
Right.
And we were saying things like, call now 1-800 blah 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 and make your
Yeah.
donation.
Sure.
Make someone's wish come true.
Right.
Sad music playing in the background, and then my studio door opens. Is this painful? You look like you're.
Oh, this is. Oh, I can't believe you're telling this one.
So
maybe I should change the name of my podcast.
Yeah. Mostly aired out. Almost all aired out, except for certain things that I don't want aired out. That's a good name for a show, man. That's a good name. A short
name.
Web address for that too.
You're absolutely right. That is a good name.
Almost completely aired out, except for the things that I don't want to air out.com.
Oh my God.
So we're live on the air, and my studio door opens, and I realized pretty quickly within the first couple seconds that this was a test of my on-air professionalism and my ability to carry forward in the live broadcast without being disrupted. I've had ice water with flying colors. I've had ice water poured down my back during a live broadcast. I've had the audio in my headphones changed to a different radio station during when I'm speaking live. But up until this moment, I had never had anybody come in my studio and walk up right beside me and pull their pants down and start spanking their own bare ass. Yes. Until this moment when you came in my studio and did that.
There were some pretty good cracks there too.
Oh yeah. I got closer to the mic and started talking a little bit more intense into it to mask the sound. But over that and the sad music, I could hear this. It probably wasn't that loud, but I could hear this skin on skin smacking. And in order to continue forward, I did have a guess because I turned and I looked across at them over that way to not see you over here doing that. Yeah. And I was trying not to laugh because it's really not a good moment for me to laugh. And you kept smacking your hiney. And then when you realized that I was moving forward like a freight train, you decided at that point to go around the other side of the console, the counter, to where my guest was because I was so intently focused on them. And then you started smacking your hiney over there.
Just so that you had a better vantage point of it.
Yeah. I think
I left my own handprint on my own ass.
It had to be red. If your hiney wasn't red, I don't know what's wrong with you. It had to be beet red.
Do you remember the morning? Do you remember the morning I came in while you were talking and took a highlighter and started coloring your nails?
No.
You don't remember that one?
No. I don't doubt it for a second. We were always. Do you remember the time I put a long-haired rock and roll wig on and a big silver silky jacket and grabbed a electric guitar, and I walked up to your outside picture window? I was standing on the front lawn. I walked up and slammed into it and started going.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean,
let me
tell you, the only thing. This is a drop in the bucket of all of the pranks. I mean, there's more than I could probably ever recall.
Part of the reason why this podcast is so much fun is that we hold nothing back, and in commercial radio,
except for the things that we do want to hold back because we don't want people to know them.com.
Yes. Commercial radio, we kind of had the handcuffs on a little bit, but to tell these stories now is so much fun. I'll never forget. You talk about me spanking my own ass in your studio. I remember one morning when I was on the air on Froggy.
I mean, seriously, I have no idea even what you're about to say. So
I don't remember who it was that I was interviewing, but you strategically waited for me to have somewhat of a serious interview also, and you got me back. And what you did was we had in the studio, we had this giant black afro wig. It was like Slash from Guns N' Roses. It was this huge fluffy black wig. and it was just a ton of.
That was the one I
black.
put on when I did the electric guitar thing.
Yes.
Yep.
And this one morning, Devon took that black wig.
Is this coffee or is this scotch? I ain't telling.
You know what? I'm gonna lean towards, based on your.
I put the spoon in it to really confuse people, so don't let that be the indicator here.
I'm watching you. That's gonna be scotch. Yeah, it's scotch.
I mean, I don't know.
Devon takes this huge fluffy black afro wig and stuffs it down his pants, and then unzipped his zipper and pulled out huge chunks of black hair.
Okay, yeah, I do remember that one. Yeah. But the thing is, like, let's clue people into this, because again, like, we're picturing this in our minds as we're talking about it.
Yeah.
But to somebody that wasn't in the building, and there wasn't anybody but us in the building. Let's set the scene a little bit.
Sure.
JD Green gets ready to go live. I know what I'm going to do. I stage in the hallway. Yeah. I wait for the big red on-air light to come on. And for good measure, I wait for you to start talking, because I know once you start, you're not going to stop.
Yeah. Correct.
And then bust the door open and present myself in a way that I'm trying to get you to laugh on the air without people out in the audience listening, knowing what's going on. I'm just trying to get you to laugh.
That's what was so much fun about about radio. And then every now and then, you on Frank FM, there would be a listener that would call you every now and then. I think his name was Sensitive Ron.
Yes.
And Sensitive Ron always had some challenges in life.
Yeah, he was like a weekly, sometimes a little bit more than weekly call-in guest.
And I think, he was, sensitive. Ultra.
Yes, he was very sensitive.
Ultra sensitive.
He was a very, very sensitive guy. Sensitive Ron, the name says it all. He was very sensitive.
It was so much fun to have, and so much fun.
People listening right now are going, "Wait, was he sensitive?"
Right.
Yes, very sensitive.
Sensitive Ron, and wait, then
did he just dial in? I could swear I just heard him. Can you check around the other side of your computer and see if he's connected?
Devon,
Sensitive Ron, is that you?
You better stop it right now. I'm serious. Had it.
Sensitive Ron, you're back. He is JD. He's connected. Ron, are you there?
Ron?
I don't think.
Oh,
here, maybe the reception. Try going back over to the side of your computer again, because that's when he was coming in clear.
If you think you're going to get away with this, Devon, with your hot ass, think again.
Ron, have you had asparagus lately?
I hate asparagus. Hate it. Hate it.
I thought you loved asparagus.
Then there was a guy who used to call me. There was
Did you just hear Sensitive Ron? I was just talking
to
him.
I heard it. I don't know if he was connected through the phone here or what.
Yeah, I think maybe it's the reception. I don't know. It's like the old rabbit ears antennas. If you touch the antenna and lift your leg up, it comes in. Whenever you would go to the side of your computer, he would come in clear as day.
Yeah, that's weird. And then I would have someone that would call me every now and then, who was a very, very nice African-American man who was from down south. Mm-hmm. Can't remember his name.
I know who you're talking about. I can't remember his name either.
Yeah. But anyway, he used to call me, and I don't know. I guess he was streaming us live down south somewhere, but he was hysterical. He was hysterical.
You have some good conversations with him?
Yeah. Yeah. So listen, can we ask you, please, for the folks that remember Devon Fox from Work FM and Frank FM all those years, where the hell did you go? Why Michigan?
It's well, it's kind of crazy because after leaving radio, I became a federal officer for Department of Homeland Security and Immigration.
Wow.
So I started adjudicating immigration cases, and then a thing came up where uh, I got some family out here, and we just decided to say, "What the hell? Let's give it a shot and move over that way and see what's what." And
go somewhere warm.
I think we dropped the ball on that one.
You know, usually when people move out of Vermont, they don't go to Michigan, bud.
I know, but again,
They
like
go to Florida or Georgia.
we have family that's right here, lives close by, and we also the housing over here. I mean, look up housing in Michigan. You can get an amazing house for a lot less than you can in Vermont, and this is just a chapter. You know, who knows what the next chapter is, but this is a chapter, and we've always told ourselves we never said, "Oh, we're never moving out of Vermont." So same thing. You know, it's not like we won't necessarily be here forever. The next chapter is coming, and we'll see what it has in store.
Sure.
Oh, and like now my son Devon and I were EMTs, and then I'm a practical instructor for EMT students as well. And my son Devon and I, we are on a local fire department as EMTs, and we go out on rescue calls, and a lot different than radio.
Yeah, you've been doing that for a while now. So
look at that look on your face, man.
No, it's just because the stories that I hear from you of what you're seeing and what you're experiencing and how you do it. Everything from, you know, suicide to heart attacks to COVID-19 calls, and you guys are running. You and your son are running around, and your pagers are going off at all different hours. And hats off to you, man. Really.
We respond to just about every single solitary 911 call that we can. 24/7, 7 days a week. Yeah, that's 24/7. But yeah, we go to a lot of medical calls, and we're on a fire department that does fire and medical. You know, people, you can work on an ambulance that's just an ambulance, or you can work at a fire department that is both either an ambulance or a rescue truck and fire. We work on a fire department, but just as EMTs, we help with fires, but we're not like firefighter certified or anything.
You had so many COVID-19 cases that at what point Michigan was shipping patients out to other states?
Some parts. I mean, not the whole state, not the state as a whole, but there was at least one hospital that I know of for a fact. But it's because of the level of hospital it was. It's not like a level 3, level 2 trauma center. It's
okay,
kind of a hospital. It's not really out in the country, but they were shipping for a time initially early on some patients to a different hospital that has more resources to take care of the patient.
Do you have any stats on Michigan?
I didn't look at today's numbers, but I mean, daily we've had to stay on top of this as EMTs and responding to these calls. Daily, COVID changes. What we know about it changes, right? So, including in the last 24 to 48 hours, there's been even more brand new information. Almost makes your jaw drop. Some information just came out yesterday morning out of Illinois, where they're saying teens and 20-somethings have been presenting themselves in the emergency room with, for whatever reason, but with little to no COVID symptoms. They would test positive for COVID. And then here's the new weird thing, right? They're presenting with what's now initially being called COVID toes, swollen red toes. And the doctors there are saying, okay, look, we haven't had time to do a clinical study of this, but come on, out of X number of patients over X number of hours, 30 of them presented with swollen red toes. testing positive for COVID with little to no symptoms, or no symptoms is what we call asymptomatic. And that's the teens and 20 somethings. 4 days ago, information came out of a what would you call it? It's a study, but it had no control patients in it. But it was some information that came out of New York State that says 30 and 40 something year olds with moderate to severe COVID symptoms are more likely to end up having a stroke, what's called a transient ischemic stroke. There's two kinds of stroke. There's a stroke like when a vein pops in your head, that's a hemorrhagic. And then there's transient ischemic, when a blood clot or something goes along and gets lodged somewhere and prevents blood flow, right? So in 30 and 40 something year olds, just in the last few days, we're finding that they're having higher percentage of stroke in those patients in New York State. So you have the teens and 20s, you have the 30s and 40s. And then of course, if you're 70, 80, 90, you're pretty much not guaranteed death, but that's your thing. If you're a teen, you're looking at getting swollen red toes. My point is, it's mind-boggling how crazy this is and how much new information we're learning every single day about COVID-19. And as EMTs, again, we've had to stay up on this daily, every day, scouring the different studies and the different information coming out from large medical centers, because as EMTs, no matter what state you're in, a huge part of our job is not just doing CPR or putting a Band-Aid on something or a traction splint or a supraglottic airway device. Part of our job is to educate the public. And in order to do that and do that responsibly, we have to keep ourselves educated continuously every day, because this COVID thing, it's a mess. And there's still right now so much that we don't know about it.
I remember reading, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago that for some people, one of the symptoms would be like pink eye.
I've heard that. I didn't hear, when I hear one little thing and it doesn't come from like the CDC or a regional medical center or a study or something like that, I kind of wait. I hold that and I wait. And if I hear that from multiple different sources, then I start assigning more weight to it. The pink eye thing, I don't know. I never heard enough about it to dive into that as oh my God, you have pink eye, you probably have COVID. I don't go there with that at this point.
It was 1 year ago right now that the CDC was going crazy about the measles outbreak. You remember that? New York was totally out of control.
Yeah, and I think that was kind of connected to what are they called? Anti-vaxxers, the people that are against getting their kids vaccinated. And if I remember correctly, we were starting to see an increase in those cases. And it is connected to the fact that there are people out there that do not believe in vaccines. They think that the government is injecting microchips in you, so they don't give their kids the vaccines. And then what we have is we effectively got rid of measles. We effectively got rid of it.
Sure.
But because some people are not vaccinating their kids, it's kind of coming back a little bit.
It's a new trend. This anti-vaccination thing is, I don't know why, but all of a sudden it's come out of nowhere.
I can tell you this, when we get closer to a vaccination for COVID-19, this is, I mean, I'm kind of joking and I'm kind of not. This is my plan. When they say, hey, we got a vaccine for COVID-19, it's in all of your hospitals, come and get it. I'm probably going to let a few thousand people go get it first.
Yeah.
Just to see.
I'm
not saying like this microchip thing, complete bullshit. Anybody that entertains that idea is they're not basing their opinion on facts and science. But what I am saying is there are some things, I don't know. I just want to see it. I want to see some people get it successfully before I go get it.
Listen, I want to make sure that I take this opportunity on my podcast to thank you so much for everything that you have done to get this podcast where it is today. You have spent, and I know that the folks watching have no idea.
Yeah, I've been behind the scenes. It's been exciting to see, JD, because and I'm telling you right now, I told you this in a chat yesterday, and it's the truth, man. I admire the shit out of you because I remember when Aired Out was a thought in the back of your head, and there was no logo yet, there was no nothing yet, and it was like kind of a dream, a thought that you had that, you know, at some point this is something I want to do, and I kind of was around to see that and hear it, and now and then all the way through the journey at different spots, and then now where you have your show, it's on local cable TV, it's on YouTube, you're building your followers. I really admire you greatly because you've been kind of an inspiration to me. I've always wanted to do something like that, and I always end up thinking, man, you know, I got to get it perfect before I do it, because if I do something like that, people expect that it's going to be of a certain quality. And so I kind of think, oh, I got to get this right. I got to get this, and I never do it. And you did. You pulled the trigger on it, right?
Well, thank you, brother. And you know, I also wasn't. I was also very blessed to have Tony Campos in Central Vermont Television supporting me.
Yeah.
But you know, all of a sudden, you know, Aired Out is coming from home, so I had to quickly you know, find some space in the house to do this. And of course I've got a computer from 1972, and you know, the internet, I have to pedal a bicycle to keep the internet going out here in the country.
We had a few phone calls where I was like, dude, you need to get yourself a network cable. And I don't care if you got to run it out your window and down into your living room, because you're upstairs in this studio. You need to get
almost did.
You need to take the Wi-Fi thing out of it and do a hardwired connection, because your internet is so slow.
But here's what makes what you're saying that much more complicated. When you're dealing with a dumbass like me, who doesn't really know what a Cat 6 cable is.
Yeah, Cat 6.
I think if you and I were together in proximity, I think you would have had that Cat 6 cable right up in my ass.
At that point, at the last time I told you, when I'm like, I logged into your computer and I could see it down in the bottom right corner, the thing wasn't hooked up yet, because the Wi-Fi icon was down there. And if you have that cable plugged in, that Wi-Fi icon goes away. Maybe you don't realize that I saw that. And at that point, if I was there, I probably would have taken that Cat 6.
Yeah.
And I would have plugged it in.
Right up, plugged it in the poop shooter, without a doubt. Yeah. You have done so much. You have spent, I don't even know how many hours. I can't even imagine how many hours you have spent diagnosing and trying to fix things, and having doors constantly shut in your face, one problem after another. And you know, I just want to say thank you. I appreciate it so much.
Yeah, man. It's been fun kind of being witness to your journey through this, like from idea to executing it to refining it and figuring things out and adding things to it. It's been really cool to be kind of witness to that whole timeline, and to be able to help where I can, because I know you would help me. You know, you did the same thing for me
in any way I could, and I would come to you and say, hey, I've got this idea, blah blah blah, and then you would have to decipher from a technical standpoint how to execute that idea, which is amazing to me. I cannot wait for you to move back to Vermont and to be in the studio with me, so that I can kiss you and hug you on camera, and
I gotta see
your fingernails with highlighters.
I gotta see if my wife will get me another glass of scotch. I mean, coffee.
Well, yeah. So what you want to do?
Put some cream in it, honey.
Devon, what you want to do?
Don't forget to stir it. Shake it. I mean, just stir it.
Listen, the next time you want to Devon, the next time you want to drink,
mm-hmm.
don't take your eyes off of me or the camera. Just pick up your drink and just shake it a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
the sound
I may be
of this,
dumb. I may be dumb,
Right.
but I ain't stupid. JD's telling me next time, like, just keep looking forward. Just pick my glass up and shake it. Give it a shake.
Yeah, just shake it. Don't break your.
Dude, you want me to get my ass kicked?
Don't break your conversation with me. Just
I'm sorry.
shake the ice cubes.
Maybe a little snap of the fingers too.
Snap, or just throw a highlighter at her. That usually works.
See how well that works for you.
Could you hear that?
No, not at all. I didn't hear
it either. I didn't hear it either.
When are you coming back to Vermont?
I think I need to make a trip back there so that we can, like, I can pull you through some of these technical things that you're trying to work out. Drag you through some of these technical things.
Would you consider marrying me and moving in? Obviously, we'd be partners.
I could marry you with the permission of my wife. I mean, she calls you my husband anyways, because we get talking on the phone like a couple schoolgirls, but
could get messy. But we could have an affair. If you come back to Vermont here, we could have an affair. We could see each other and work on things and do things together that no one would have to know about.
Yeah, like our little camp stove project.
Oh my God, we have so many ideas. Did you just say that?
Not out loud. I was just thinking it. You were reading my mind.
Yeah, we have so many ideas. So many. We're going to be billionaires one day. Devon.
Thank you, hon.
Thank you, hun. Hashtag hun.
That turned out really well. Your little camp stove project.
Yeah, listen, man. No, I got to tell you, she just reminded me of this. You know, talking about telling stories. Years ago when you and I were talking about doing that project, I'll just say what it is. This camp stove project. We were trying to make like a really micro camp stove. I don't know if I ever told you this or not.
Don't say what it's made out of. I'll get in my car, drive to Michigan, and break both of your legs right now.
I won't say what it's made of.
There's a patent on this.
I won't say what it's made of or the design of it. One of the things that was in it, I have to mention. I won't say the exact thing. Fuel.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, because it's a stove. It's got to have fuel.
Sure.
So I find this special fuel that was required to put in this stove that we were making. I was trying to make one. I did it out in my driveway.
Yes.
And I don't know if I ever told you this, but I just about died.
Uh-huh.
I was just about dead, or at least with no hand.
You're not making me liable or blaming me for any of that shit, are you?
No.
Okay. I'm just making sure. That's all.
I mean, I probably wouldn't have been in my driveway making this stove if it wasn't for you. But,
okay.
So anyways, so I make a very, I don't know, what would you call it? Crude version. I wanted to get the thing together and just prove the concept, right? So I make the thing, and then now I have to pour fuel in it. So I start pouring fuel in it, and I'm so excited. I just want to light this fucking thing and see, like, oh my God, it works. Our families are going to be on speedboats out on the lake every Tuesday.
Right.
Drinking martinis, doing 48 miles an hour across the lake. I don't know if that would work really well, but
your goatee was instantly gone.
Yeah. Well, no, it wasn't as much fire as it was boom. So I go to light it, and I'm so excited that this is about to work. And I get the lighter close to it, and the thing goes off like a shotgun, like a big shotgun. And I was holding it in my other hand when it blew up. Yeah. And I can't get too detailed because I'd be talking about the design, but it came apart.
Yeah.
In a matter of about a hundredth of a second. and
Christina's in the house going, God damn it, JD.
Yeah. Those dumbasses.
I can't wait for you to move back home. I can't wait to to screw around and possibly get hurt with you and just have you on my show. Hey, listen, we're gonna wrap things up here, but please tell everybody what it is that you are doing every Friday night.
Okay, so starting in a little while, what time is it? So
10 after 6.
Yeah, in about an hour and a half, I'm going to be doing a live mix show on mixcloud.com. And I have a channel there. I've posted it on my social media. Maybe you could put it up on yours. So here's what it is. We used to do a show like this on a couple different stations. I was on WZRT out of Rutland, Z97. Back in the day, we used to do a big show like this there. All the music beat mixed, beat to beat, back to back. We're talking top 40, hip hop, dance music, the hottest new stuff mixed with those classics that you're like, oh shit, I haven't heard that in forever.
Yes.
Real banging music. It's good stuff. And this is one of the things I've always wanted to do. I wanted to do a live mix show. And so, yeah, you were kind of inspiring to that as far as I finally realized this week, if I wait for perfection, it's never going to happen. So I'm just doing it. It's going to be really organic as far as I am really good. So the beat mixes are pretty much flawless.
Yes, they are.
But it's going to be, like pretty organic in nature. We got some imaging produced for it. That's pretty cool. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to start playing some music around 7:30, 7:45. But the mix show itself, I'm going to start at about 8:00.
All right. So this is every Friday night.
We're going to see how it goes.
All right. But definitely tonight, though.
Yeah,
definitely
I did one
tonight.
Oh, yeah. I did one earlier this week, and we had over 120 listeners tune in during like a 2-hour live show. I'll go 2 to 4 hours tonight. It depends on how many listeners we get. I'm not making any money off it or anything, so it's just we're stuck at home.
Right.
If you're having a house, excuse me, if you're having a house party at your house, we're having one at mine. Except we're going to be beat mixing some music and sharing it with you. So tune in, connect your Bluetooth speakers, get it cranked up.
I'm just getting a message right now from a viewer who's watching saying, how do we find it again? So.
Okay, so I'll tell you the address.
Slow it down. Slow it down. Talk like you're talking to JD. Break it down here. Slow down.
Okay, I'm gonna.
What website do we
give you a web address? I get a little excited about it.
Get the www dot in there, please. For me,
and
I need.
You don't even have to type that in.
Just
simply
slow down now. Don't get you're getting me overwhelmed. I'm like my mother now.
This guy here.
You're getting me all upset.
This guy here. You're getting wicked freaked out on me here, right? Where'd you park your car this time? In the backyard? What the fuck? You're getting way too wigged out on me here.
Break it down for folks like me.
You need to back far up. You need to back up far.
I'm backed up.
You're wicked freaked right now. When you talk like this in Michigan, everybody stops and watches. In New England, it's not as like, oh my God, where's he from? What country is he coming from? But when you're in Michigan and you start talking like, oh yeah, I parked the car wicked far back in the backyard. I was down at the bay yesterday, wicked freaked out. Everybody stops and goes, huh?
I bet. Oh yeah, I'm sure.
All right, web address, right?
Yeah.
So we're doing this live beat mix show tonight. It's going to be like 2 to 4 hours of some really hot shit. House party from my house to yours. Here's how you tune in. If you want to type the address in, you go to mixcloud.com/live/Devon Fox. Or go ahead.
One more time.
Did you get that? Did you get
that? Just one more.
Getting your mental notepad out?
Say it again.
Mixcloud.com/live.
Yeah.
/ Yeah. Devon Fox.
Got it.
It's also on my social media, available publicly, so you can find me on Facebook and check it out there. And then maybe the famous JD Green will decide that he would put it on his social media too.
That was really bad. That was
Okay. Listen, man,
yeah,
I get wicked.
really bad.
I get wicked fucking pissed if you don't put it on your. If you don't put it far back on your social media, I'll be wicked fucking pissed.
It's gonna be on there. It's gonna be on there. Listen,
I want
dude,
it so
you gotta
on your social media that if someone's driving their car, they can see it.
You need to do this every Friday night. Don't. I don't want to hear this shit. Well, let's see how it goes. Do it every Friday night.
We'll see if there's a good showing tonight of listeners, then I'll definitely keep doing it. And
the cool part is it's live.
Yeah, and it's actually not just audio. It's a video. It's a live video stream. Although I'm probably just going to put some text up on the screen and leave it at that because only anybody wants to see this ugly mug.
Brother, I hope that you, now that we're linked up this way, I hope that we can do this so much more.
Dude,
I want to get you. I want to get you back on like right away. I
was going to tell you if you want. Sometime in the coming days, if you want me to come back on and we can do a show that's more focused on COVID-19. Okay. I know there's so much misinformation out there. Yeah. There's so much that people don't understand. And then somebody hears a rumor and they bite onto it and people are scared. There's a lot of people who are really frightened. And then on the opposite side, there's people that are so not afraid that they think it's no big deal. And it is, and it isn't. So if you wanted to do, I would definitely come back on and do a more COVID-19 focused thing. I have some information in front of me. So, I like to cite sources. So
sure.
But yeah, definitely I would love to do that.
Let's
Maybe
do
we
it.
Can tell a few more stories from the old radio days.
Of course. Brother.
I like that grin. That grin is like, I wonder what story he's going to tell next time.
There's so many other. Well, you know that I was going to write a book.
Yeah,
a book called.
We'll get you on next week, buddy. Sure, I'll call you. Okay.
Hey, you already know I was going to write a book called "Aired Out," telling stories. Yeah. But this is how it's going to be. It's not going to be a book. It's going to be.
I'm going to give a huge shout out to you and a whole bunch of friends on my show tonight on Mixcloud.com. I think we're calling it like the lockdown party because we're all in kind of a lockdown. Yes. And listen, this show is different from the radio version that used to be done years ago. This one's got swear words in it, man. We got Cardi B talking about stuff down there. Yeah.
Down there. I love you, buddy. I love you so much. Too, man. Be good.
Mixcloud.com/live/Devon Fox.
And find him on Facebook.
Yep. You going to put a link on your social media to the show?
Hells yes, I am.
Right on.
All right, brother.
Are you going to tune in?
You. I am going to tune in.
Right,
Lily's going to be dancing with me. Trust me.
And some of the songs are censored, but some aren't.
I will be dancing with Lily, and I'll be wearing a fluorescent pink tutu.
Daddy, what's up, JJ? Just be prepared for questions. These are mostly uncensored adult versions of songs. So no, I mean, it's not that bad. I'm just kind of kidding.
I love you, brother. I love you.
Take it easy, man.